星と深淵を目指
雨の日の外出ほど面倒なものはない。いや、
渚のリンク。しっかり立ってな。ガジャー
これほど天気のいい日には何もしないに限る。雨の日の外出ほど面倒なものはない。
全部丸み。方向渚のリンク。
強戦。
はびこりなさい。えよさあ覚えたわよ。
行こう。時間は有限よ。
今回はどんな問題だ？
まだ行ったことのない場所がたくさんあるの。
これでよし。
急がないと。
剣女盤石。
サプライズだよ。
死をもって償え。難攻不落。
燃えろ。風の行く先を。
逃げ場はないぞ。
逃げられなかった。注目。
岩山八九。
サプライズだよ。注目。
見ておくといい。
Okay, it's hilarious despite the fact my Kitching does not need anywhere near as much ER. She can get by with literally 0. Despite that, she is still like one of the best built characters on my account because of that crit damage. That is fucking wild. That is so much crit damage. And that's still with a 65 crit rate as well. What for fun? Now, I'm not asking for Kitchen to like perform as well as Al Haytham. The thing is, I am thinking like if this doesn't perform, I can always just build on a Hyper Bloom team and build to like maximum EM.
Yep.
No matter what, she will just be a worse Al Haytham. It's just how much worse. Things I suppose if you actually look at raw damage numbers, they aren't that much lower than Al Haytham's. Problem is that Al Haytham hits like a 50 fucking billion times every time he attacks, and he does it in a way bigger AoE. I really want Kitchen to work. She's one of my favourite characters.
たまたまよ、陣営の
のごとく我が剣よ影に従え。瞬く間に。でやはっはあほっ僕をたたえよ歌え僕の名も邪魔をするな。
風に雲に仮
陣営のごとく健康よ世の乱れを切り尽くせ。はっやあ瞬く間に。はっはっ
I'd be lying if I said I was effective.
役払い。
Wouldn't I? I really would be. I did fuck up that first rotation. We might have been able to secure the kill in one rotation. Maybe. That still wouldn't have been impressive. The best thing for her might just be to slap her in a Hyper Room team. Just because I can see Aggravate being better for her, otherwise, but because I have Nahida C2, if she can get her Hyper Blooms to crit, and there's always a defense benefit. What happens here if I just replace Hazuha with Nahida?
また見識を広められそうね。
Frame it still could keep triggering Hyper Blooms. I was originally just going to do exploration, but I think I want to get the story quest out of the way. Not because I want to do a story quest, but because if I don't do a story quest, I can't do Chuska's story quest. So I have to do it. I think. The thing is that on kitchen teams, a single Hu-Tao normal attack does more damage than Kitching's entire attack string. That's the thing. People act like Kitching is a character with power up so times. No, Kitching was always shit. Did Hu-Tao release before Kitching? She might have. Look, I'm pretty sure, I wasn't playing the game back then, but I'm pretty sure Kitching was dead on arrival. I don't think she was ever good. I don't think she was as bad when the game released, but she was never good. Because since release, Hu-Tao's been able to put out fucking like pretty much her entire attack string's worth of damage in a single normal attack. Then in exchange, Kitching is more restrictive in terms of sub-DPS counters she can run.
そんなに脆くはないだろう。ああ、火翼の集いにはエリート飛行部隊があるんだ。 彼らは黒竜に乗って空を駆け回る。ただ空かける騎士になるにはかなり高度な技術がいるし、黒竜に認めてもらう必要もある。コリウールは先日の飛行試練のために何年も準備していたんだが失敗に終わった。幾度も飛行試練に落ち、黒竜に認めてもらえなかった者は最終的にやる気を失い、空への憧れをも手放す。そして二度と挑戦さえしなくなる。そういうものを出力者。
それで最後には部族からも追放。
そんなはずがないだろう。黒竜は自身の一枚一枚の羽を大切にし、特にあの戦いがあってからは若い戦士の一人一人に私たちの未来が託されている。黒竜は皆飛べるようになる前は崖から落ちてしまうものだ。かつての出力者もいつか再び闘志が燃え上がるかもしれない。それまで静かに見守るのが私の今の役目だ。
そうか、早く元気になるといいな。
しかし彼女の口笛はやはり自信なさげだ。ああ、火翼の集いでは、しかし黒竜は火翼の集いの戦士たちより試練に合格できなかった上、黒竜気持ちはありがたいが、私は戻って張り。
Thinking I'm pretty safe from not pulling Marika. Regardless, I can wait for a rerun. Since she is an Archon, so it's not going to be a Rhymesy situation, she will get a rerun. There's no way. I'm not that interested in her. The thing is, by the sounds of it, her skill is not Zhangling power creep. It's more like Daya power creep. Except Daya gives interruption resistance, whereas she just gives damage bonus. By the sounds of it, she works the same way, but she just deals damage. It's like a coordinated attack, but not actually a coordinated attack. Which is good. Daya's main problem is it can't trigger Burgeon, and that it requires him to be in her AoE. I don't know if Marika solves his problems.
飛行訓練に付き合ってくれない？私反省したの。この前の失
But
敗
I don't know
は
if I'm
きっ
willing
と
to
カー
call
ブの
5
時
star
のス
just
ピー
so
ド
I
が
don't
足り
have
な
to
かった
worry
んだ
about
と思う。
Zhanglin's energy
だから
requirements.
振り子旋回とか反
They're
転動を
generally
中
not
心
an
に
issue
たくさん練習
anymore.
すれば。あと落葉効果とスネーキングも試してみたい。
Crikey. Okay.
あれ？この音、もしかして他の誰かもククリュウを呼んでるの？待って！
これで元気になってくれたかな。早く橋の方に戻って様子を見に行こうぜ。
I fully forgot how to fly.
チャスカさん、さっきククリュウを呼べたの。私に答えてくれたんだ。でも他にも誰かが近くで呼んでたから乗る暇もなく飛んでいっちゃった。
それはタイミングが悪かったな。でも1回呼べたなら2回目もある。
Gotta say, the
このまま
reason
頑
why
張
I'm
り
not
続け
skipping
れば
this cutscene is
きっと
because
試
I
練に合
like
格
this
できると
random
思うぞ。
NPC's voice acting.
すぐに諦めなくてよかった
It
よ。
is surprisingly
おう、
energetic.
チャスカ、
So,
コリウールはどうだ？
あれ？あなたたちは？どうして
I think
私の
I'm
名前を
fucking
知って
good
る
at
の？
saying. I think they're
こ
good
の
at
二人
saying
は
it.
友人の旅人とパイモンだ。この前お前のことを話したんだ。部族にポテンシャルのある若者がいるとな。
じゃあ、あなたが例の旅人さんなの？ポテンシャルだな。
Pretty sure the
私は
voice
出
actor
力者になっ
strike
た
is still
男だったの
ongoing,
に、
so
ポテ
there
ンシ
still
ャル
wouldn't
だ
be
って。
any English voice acting.
でも初めて会ったはずなのに、なんだかどこかで会ったことがあるような。
なら聖火競技場で見たんじゃないか。彼女はナタ中を旅してるからどこで
Anyway,
会っ
about
てい
my
て
week,
もおか
I'm
しくない。
still dead set on getting
So?
Farina C2.
コリウール、ジャ
I'm a little bit more wary about Novelet C1, simply because Novelet C1 will point as it allows me to run him with Farina. If I run him with Farina, it locks me out of running Farina with my other team,
ここにいたのね。
which then slightly devalues Farina's C2,
飛
technically.
行試練がもうすぐ再始動するから君に知らせに来たのよ。
再始
I'll
動？
have to look up like
なんだ
Novelet
急に。
C1 teams,
しかも
which
図
don't
工や
include
直々
Farina.
に。
恥ずかしい話だけどね。この間の試練、
Since obviously they
開始前に
combine
会場の
incredibly
検
well
査がしっ
together,
かりできていなか
but
った
so
のよ。
does
それ
Farina
で
combined with
実力
Valhaven.
を発揮できなかった人が多くて、だから終わった後に点検してみたら会場にかなりの問題があったことが発覚したの。
I don't know which
試練の
team
結果
would
にも
need the
少なから
help
ず影響してい
more,
た
I
と思う。
suppose.
これは
The
私
matter
たちの
is,
ミスだと認めざるを得ないわ。
I think it's been quite
償い
tight
になる
between
とは
them.
思えないけど、謝罪も兼ねてできるだけ早くみんなに飛行試練の再始動を知らせようと思ってね。
そんなことが。
ジャスカ、
I
こ
mean,
の二
Overlet
人は
gets diluted
旅人とパイモンか
boost
しら。
because he already has hydro damage bonus
オイ
based
ラ
kit.
たちのこと知ってるのか？
情報収集は戦士の基本よ。ましてお二人はナタでもかなりの有名人なのよ。ずっと家族の集いに招待しておもてなししたいと思っていたのよね。
おもてなし？美味しいものが出てくるのか？
もちろんよ。家族の集いでは
I
強
heard
い戦士に
Novelet's
尊敬されるの。
passive is actually like a
君たちを
final
招待
damage
できるのなら
multiplier.
どんなに
So that
豪華な
means
場を用意
his
してもいい
C1 is
くらい
way
よ。
more valuable than I
こ
actually
の
can
間の対
afford.
戦にもし君たちがいなかったら
So I
ア
thought
ビ
that
スによ
applied
る
in the
災害
same
は
way
きっ
that
と
like
はるかに
Wander's
ひどい
troop
被害を
does,
生んでいたと
where
思
it's
う
basically
わ。
just elemental damage percent.
部族を代表して
But
お
no,
二人
apparently
に
it's the
感謝を
final
捧げ
damage
たいの。
multiplier,
強い戦士
which
に
makes it actually
オイラも
really
入れて
strong.
くれたのか？アルパっていい人だな。
Please check what number it is
え
again.
え、もちろん。飛行技術で言えばあなたほどすごい人はうちの部族でも稀だわ。
家族の集いの人たちっていい人たちばっかりだな。絶対行くぜ。
ただ残念だけど今は試練の再始動を他の人たちにも知らせに行かないと。次世代を担う彼らの未来に関わることだから少しの時間も無駄にできないわ。
アルプさん、私も一緒に行く。私もみんなに早くこのことを知ってもらいたい。
あら、
I
それじゃあ
really like
ジャス
Chuska's playstyle.
お二人のおもてなしをお願いしてもいいかしら。
If
もちろんだ。
there's
じゃあ
no
後
one
で
that's a higher
黒曜
priority,
石のトーテムポール
she's
の下で
fun,
落ち合いましょう。行く
but
わよ、コリュ
I
ール。
just have bigger priorities, so skip. I recently got the Higher Lab app just to
もう
make
遠
things
く
more
へ行った
convenient
な。
for check-in
さて
rewards.
担当直入に
I
聞こう。
fucking hate
さっ
this
きコ
game's
リュールの
community
笛に
now.
応じたククリュウのことだが、あれはお
People
前
on
の
the
計
Higher
画か？
Lab are so fucking obnoxious to me. They're not like
私は小
bad
さい
people,
頃
I
からク
think.
クリュウと共に暮らしていたからな。あの竜が飛んできた時、どうも違
I
和
just
感
mean
が
it's
あ
really
った。
cringe and the
動きや
behavior
気
is
配には
weird.
お前の影さえ感じた。
Every time I
だ
log
から、
on, all I
お
see
前
is
が
a
何
list
か
of
仕込
like
んだん
people
じゃな
saying
い
what
か
their
と思った
pulling
んだ。
plans are, which is so.
コリュールが乗りたいと
There's
言い出し
one
た
part
時、
which I really
ク
like,
クリュ
which
ウ
is
は困
player
惑してい
emergent
たようにも
storytelling.
見
It's
えた。
player emergent storytelling
だ
is
から笛を
awesome,
吹い
and I
て
love it.
離れる機
I'm
会を作って
fascinated
やった
by
ん
it,
だ。
and I
そ
just
の
love
表情か
Turn.
らすると役に立ったみたいだな。
So in that
安心
regard, I
しろ。
like people talking about
強者は
pulling
手の内
plans.
をたやすく見せないものだ。
This is one of my favorite
だ
aspects
から
of
これ以
gacha
上は
games
問い
is
詰
that
めない
they
し、
they are
勝手
really
に
good
推
at
測して
generating
言い
player
ふらしたり
emergent
もしな
storytelling.
い。
But on
そ
the
れ
other
にお前
hand,
なら、
they talk
た
about
と
their
え常
pulling
人とは
plans with
違
some
う
sense
能
of
力を持っていて
pride.
も、きっと正しいところで
There's
使
like
ってくれる。コリュールに
for
足
some
りない
reason
も
they're
のは
really
テクニックではな
prideful
く
that
自信
oh
だ。
I'm skipping this character, I'm not interested in
お
them,
前はあいつ
or
の
oh
中
I'm
にある
pulling
矛
for
盾
this
という
character, I
対
really
立を
like them.
調停してくれた。
Like
家庭を気にすること
Should
は
you
ない。
really be bragging
た
that
と
you're
えお
pulling
前
for
がやらなくても
Sunday?
私も母さんに一
I
つは
don't
言っ
think
て
you
もらおう
should
か
be,
と考
because
えて
what
い
you're
た。
bragging about is that you
そ
have
の
no
方が
fucking
コリ
taste.
ウールにバレた
That you
時
don't know
や
what
や
well
こし
written
くなってただろ
characters.
う。ああ。ところでこの後時
It's
間
like
はある
they
か？
fucking
一緒に火力の集いを見て回ろ
they
う。
announced a new character in a live stream. We know nothing about the character. We just know what they look like. Well, sometimes we don't even fucking know what they look like. Often, yeah, there's been times before where, like, Zablanka, or whatever the name is. Zablank, I don't know. The character people said we were getting that, I don't know if we're going to, though, at this point. We were supposed to get them several patches ago, from what I remember. Still haven't appeared. People are saying they're going to save up and pull for Akage. I'm like, you literally know nothing about them other than their name. People say, oh, I'm going to pull for Sunday, even though he's not a well-written character. And, like, you don't know what his kit is yet. Or they show some other character, and we're like, oh, I'm going to pull for him, and you don't know anything about their personality. But why would you brag about this? You're just bragging that you don't make good decisions. Just forget. I fucking hate this bird.
よーく見てろ。くらえ。
喧嘩か？取りなした方がいいんじゃないのか？
いや、心配しなくていい。普段通り訓練をしているだけだ。
訓練？あんなにちっちゃい子がか？
火翼の集いは戦士の部族だからな。遠い昔はナタ全土を巡回して守る役割を担っていた精鋭部隊でもあった。状況は多少変わったが、武芸を重んじる習慣は変わってない。
And this cultural idea is going to go completely unchallenged. Because that's how culture and morality works.
訓練に付き合ってよ。
タイミングが悪かったな。今は旅人とパイモンを案内してやらないといけないんだ。また今度な。
旅人パイモン。
We'll find out very soon, I imagine.
あの伝説の戦士と伝説の飛行の達人。
伝説の
Am I calling you Geo?
そう
I'm not Geo.
まさにそれがおいでたちだっちゃう。
すげえや。ククリュウに乗らなくても飛べるなんて。チャスカ姉ちゃんだって自分の力でずっとは飛べないんじゃないか。
Are you sure
ね
about
えね
that?
え、旅人のお姉ちゃん、剣術を教えてくれない？
旅人のお姉ちゃん、うちの火山ケーキを食べてね。
こちらは大切なお客人だ。後で族親のアルパさんにも会いに行くんだから、お前たちはちょっと我慢しなさい。コーティミ、自分にない才能を羨む前に、まずは自分の技術を一生懸命鍛えなさい。カパッ
I really wish they went
剣
without
術に入る前
releasing
に、
one
ま
5-star
ずは
and
基
one
礎を固め
4-star
なさい。
character for each
今日の
tribe.
素
I
振り
think
は
that'd
終わっ
be
たのか？
really fair.
それからヤトラ、
Meanwhile, Honkai Star
隙を
Rail
見
is
ては自分の
still
家の商品を進めまくるのは
fucking
やめなさい。
releasing 2 new 5-stars per patch. The last new 4-star in Star Rail was, I think, Gallagher.
すまない。
In the
お前
fucking,
たち
I
の名前
think
を聞いて
Gallagher
興奮してしま
released
ったよ
with
うだ。
Penacony.
どうか気にしないでくれ。
So
これ
Honkai
は
Star Rail
ヤ
is
トラン
about
が
to
無理や
go
り
an
押し付けてき
entire
た火山
fucking
ケーキ。
year, an entire
お詫びだそう
region
だ。
without adding a 4-star to a game, whilst adding 2 new 5-stars in every patch.
気に入ってくれたならよかった。
So it would have been
ヤトランもきっと喜ぶ。
365 days without a new 4-star,
あいつらと親しみだったよな。
whilst we're getting 1 new 5-star
でき
every
るお前は
20
もっ
days.
と
I'd like to just really emphasize how fucking obscene that is in Star
ここ
Rail.
って感じなのかと思ってたぞ。
And that is further why I can get people
そう
being
か。
excited wherever
確か
their
に
pulls
そ
in
ういう時期
Genshin.
もあった。
For Star Rail, what the fuck
火
are you
翼
on
の
about?
集いの一員になったばか
Your
りの頃
characters
か
just
な。
didn't get
だ
power
が
cracks
調停者は
by
高
every
慢に
time
な
you
ってはい
fucking
けな
say
い。
their name.
そういうことだ。
So,
ただ他の選択肢がある限り、私はできるだけそれを避けている。かつて、私にこんなことを言ってくれた人がいた。武力で成し遂げた和解は、数日もすれば崩れる。
Like, at least when you
会
get
話
a
と
character
心
in
で解決す
Genshin,
るこ
no
とこ
matter
そ
what, you know you're
双
going to be
方
able
にと
to
って
use
良
them.
いことな
So
の
even
だ
there, even with how bad
時には
catching
双
is,
方が
the
強大
Abyss,
な武
she
力を
is
持っている
useful,
という
not
事
with the
実が
Abyss.
話し合いの前提ともなるん
In
だな
overworld exploration, I can most definitely use it, I think. I mean, we haven't done it yet, I might be speaking
ク
too
スコお
soon,
じさん
but
が
I'm
ジャ
pretty
ス
sure
姉
we
ちゃんが
can.
帰ってきたって聞いて捕まえに向かってるよ
そうか
That's
教え
not
てくれ
true
て
for
ありがとう
Star
旅
Rail.
人
Star Rail,
背
you
後
do not have
私
what
は
is
先に
currently
失
the
礼する
meta. You lose,
後で
and
あ
the
そ
game
こ
is
のトーテ
unplayable.
ンポールの下で会おうあそこは目立つから道案内はいらないだろう
お前逃げるつもりなのか？
対立を調停する最善の方法は対立が起きるのを避けることだ
さすがジャスコ姉さん逃げる時もかっこいい
詳しいことは後で話すからお前たちもうまくかわしてくれすまない
See how things piss him off about Star Rail. Star Rail, not only is it like really fucking badly designed in regards to power creep and such, but actually it actively like takes pride in doing so. It just like does it so blatantly in your face about it. Genshin actually makes an effort to avoid power creep, whereas Star Rail not only doesn't avoid power creep, but it actively goes for it and flaunts it in your face.
君たちは旅人とパイロンかチャスカは君たちと一緒に帰ってきたと聞いたんだが
Like when the game first releases, Dot is a meta with Kafka, and then Dot very quickly falls off.
誰って チャスカの養父だ
And then Dunhang and Bibasolune releases, and then he just becomes the king of damage.
チャスカとはそういう約束なんだ
I think until Jinglu releases, or who, I don't know, whichever one of them came
3
first.
回も
Regardless, Jinglu then releases, and then she, I think, takes the crown from Bibasolune.
あの子は幼い頃にアビスの力に侵食さ
And
れ
then
て
Ruan Mei releases and power creeps every
幸い
previous
野良の
support
クク
in
リ
the
ュウ
game.
が彼女を拾って世話をしてくれていたおかげで生き延びられたその後見回り中の騎士たちがチャスカを見つけ火翼の集いに連れてきたというわけだあの頃のチャスカはまさに野獣だったぞ
Then Black Swan releases, and it's like,
少しでも目を離せば
whoa,
人と戦い
Kafka's
部族からもよく
viable
脱
again
走し
for a
人
single
よりも竜に
patch,
親しみを持っていた
where they specifically design every enemy map patch to be really vulnerable to Black Swan and Kafka. And the very next patch, they go the opposite direction and make Black Swan and Kafka useless again.
アビスに侵食された経験
So
が
they can instead release Acheron and
闘争の種を埋
Aventurine,
め込んでしまったのだとな
and from then on permanently fuck the game's power scaling
まあ手伝うと言っても
by just assuming that you're using Aventurine and
今
thusly
のあいつはようやく
giving you
人のようになって
enemies
きた
where it's literally impossible for your characters to survive
でもいいんじゃないか
the enemy's
チャ
attacks.
スカは落ち着いてるし
Well, not literally impossible, but it's not down to you. It's literally completely down to RNG. Again, like for that example, let me just flash back to the Hule fight in the story, where March 7 died in that fight, which I had literally no control over because I didn't choose to have March 7th. You have to have her in your team, and it's trial counter, so you only get to choose her stats. So whether or not she dies is entirely dependent on if Hule decides to attack her. Because if he does, she will die. Unless you have Aventurine. Literally, that's the only way to stop her from dying, is if you have Aventurine or if you get lucky. I had a person the other day tell me that I was lying, I have a skill issue in Star Rail. When I said that you need to get good characters to succeed in the game. That's a bona fide example. You cannot deny what I just said. It's literally a mathematical fact that your success against Hule is RNG dependent or dependent on you having Aventurine. Which is, I mean, it's relevant thematically to Aventurine because he's a gambler. So I can't say it doesn't make sense.
いつの間にか結構時間が経っちゃったなそろそろチャスカを探しに行こうぜ
I'd be lying if I said I was paying
プー
attention.
ルのところにいるんだよな
I a little bit confused as to why these are even here, because there's nothing to actually find here. It's all just empty space. Anyway, so after Acheron, they then introduce Firefly and Rapper.
大丈夫だ。
And then Firefly is suddenly able to put out Acheron's ultimate damage with every single attack, but only so long as you break enemies. So then, they can... Thing is, Firefly is probably the single character in the game that's actually most vulnerable to power creep. So I'm surprised because other people say she's the least vulnerable to power creep. No. Firefly is the most vulnerable to power creep because she's entirely reliant on breaking enemies. So all Boreas needs to do is add in an enemy which has really high toughness or resist being broken, which I think they already fucking did. If I remember correctly, they added in an enemy patch after Firefly released that resists being broken. So Firefly literally can't do anything to an enemy. They're gonna do it again.
だがあの頃の私は物分かりが悪くてな。
So he did that.
いろんな人と揉め事を起こしていた。
でも今や中で最も挑戦に長けた人になったわね。時間が経つのって早いわ。
私がいつか空さえ飛べなくなったら、火翼の集いと飛行隊は君に頼むから。私の性格を知ってるだろ。配置を考えたり指揮したりするよりも。 一人で先頭を飛ぶ方が私の性に合っている。だからもう何年か踏ん張ってくれ。コリウールたちが大人になるまで待てばいい。まったく。
あれ？お前たちの部族って
Actually, sorry. When we got hunt characters, when to counter hunt characters, we got AoE
確かに
damage
火翼の集いは強さを重んじるが、強さとは 必ずしも武力を指すわけじゃない。1対1でやり合うなら、エリート飛行隊どころか、そこらにいる部族の戦士でも簡単に私を倒せるでしょうね。あら、がっかりさせちゃったかしら。昔は確かに武闘派の戦士だったわ。でも、当時は世間知らずで、実力を証明するために怪人の都の推し彼方へ冒険しに行ってね。 収穫がなかったどころか、大怪我を負ったわ。なんとか命拾いしたけど、それからは強さとは無縁になった。体に大ダメージを負ってもなお、経験と意志で飛行隊を指揮する賊親になれたのは強さの表れだと思うけど。まあ、この話はこのくらいにしておきましょう。旅人、パイも心ばかりだけど。 遠慮なくどうぞ。
I don't want to defend Genshin Impact, but like, when placed against Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact becomes really easy to defend. And that does not reflect well on Star Rail. This quest is supposed to be of 3 parts. Usually the first part is like literally 5 minutes, and the second part is like 10 minutes. And then the third part was just like an hour. So. Launch down and skip the dive.
なんだ。私も行った方がいいか。その部族の外から来た商人の一行が商談をしに来たみたい。よりによってこんな時に部族の出力者たちへの連絡も飛行試練会場の検査もまだ終わってないのに。
Why would Western aesthetic?
部族の事務仕事は私に任せてくれ。昔とは違うんだ。
That land is supposed to be based on Africa, right? Pretty sure that's why we have tribes, and that's why people are upset there's no black people.
美味しいものをたくさんごちそうしてもらっちゃったしな。
みんなありがとう。まだ連絡できていない出力者たちはみんなチャスカの知り合いよ。テスカは今バルーンシューティングの管理人よ。
Obviously, it's not for the whole nation, but it's not like the rest of the nation. It's
サウリアンシャ
also
ッフルにまだ夢中
fitting.
になっているんじゃないかしら。それからジュナは相変わらず飛行場から怪人の都を眺めているわ。彼らのことは君に任せるから。
These characters in Fontaine would have fit right in. why can't we just continue to Fontaine? Fontaine wasn't as good as Sumeru, but it's close. I get the lose.
ピシカ、考えな。
ありがとう族長。
ピシカ、飛行試練が再始動するぞ。
ああ、族親に言われてきたのか。ちょうど今ピシカとその件について部族の今の状況はお前も知っているだろう。経験豊富な戦士であるお前がいつまでもここにとどまっているというのは。
族長、一体何年前の話だよ。俺は随分前に出翼者になったんだ。腕なんてとっくに衰えてるさ。部族から必要とされれば必ず力を貸す。だがもう一度飛行試練に参加するなんてそこまですることはない。長い時を経て俺も諦めがついた。
Thing is, like, they intermittently they kind of release like a return to a past region.
出翼者から脱却して
kind of
再び空へ飛び立つのは簡単なことじゃないんだ。でも別にそんな偉大な人物になる必要なんてないだろう。
ones that got
たとえククリュウに認められなくたって、
unless you want to count Dragon
俺は熱気球に乗って空に飛べる。
ones that is going to get dormant port, which reminded me was supposed to get like back when fucking Fontaine launched.
それだけで満足なんだ。
Still hasn't happened.
好きなことを見つけるのは飛行試練をクリアするよりも難しいかもしれない。悪いことだとは思ってないん
Inazuma
だ。
also didn't really get a place.
無理強いはしないでおく。
そこ
So
の
I've
君
kind
た
of
ち
made
も
this
時間
up.
があったら
This is all bullshit.
ここの熱気球に乗ってみてくれよな。
Um,
空を一周すれば
Sumeru got updated with the little port to like the top of the map
おう、試
next
した
to
くなったら
Fontaine.
いつでも
Granted,
来てく
there's
れ。
literally nothing there. Fuck. I'm kind of proving myself wrong here. Point is, they went back to Liyue and they gave us training there. And we know there's locations in every other region which are prime for getting an expansion. So hopefully one day they will return to Fontaine and give us more Fontaine. And more Sumeru. Sumeru is still the best nation in the game. By literally every metric has best characters, best music. Every region has great music. All of them do.
飛行試練。
Sumeru's is probably just one which appeals most to me personally.
今更何の意味
It
が。
has...
何度試しても
Yeah, it's
ククリュウ
pretty
を
safe
俺
to
み
say
た
it
い
has
な
best
遊びほうけてい
exploration
るやつを
mechanics.
認めてはくれないだ
It's
ろ。
very well balanced in terms of design. Yeah, it's good
Wascar.
enemy variety.
ククリュウはそんなことでお前を拒絶したりしない。
You've got hilly shells, you've got treasure
他の理由
hoarders,
があった
you
ってこ
have
とだろ。
the...
闘志もなければ才能もない。みんながみんなジャスカみたいに生まれつき才能を持ってるわけじゃねえんだ。
you have fungi,
俺のところで時間を無駄
then you
遣い
have
する
like the
必要
special
はない。
monster things.
現実が見えてない奴らのところにでも行きな。俺はな。
So lots of enemy variety in Sumeru.
サウリアンシャッフルでもプレイした方がマシだ。
出力者にはこういう感じの人がい
Generous
るのか。
adventure rewards. I mean, of
彼も
course,
かつては
Sumeru's
闘志を燃
cast
や
is
してい
great.
た戦士の一
Sumeru's
人だ
world
った
building is pretty
だ
stellar.
がそれだけではククリュウに認めてもらうことはできない。
ククリュウってそんなに厳しいのか？バルーンシューティングにもサウリアンシャッフルにも適当そうな竜はいっぱいいたぞ。
人と楽しく遊ぶのと
Sumeru's
人の命を
world
背負
was
って
like for
空を飛ぶ
one
のでは
time.
全く違う。
Also
実
Fontaine to
力
an
不足
extent.
のものを乗せれば
Sumeru's
危
world
険に
was
さら
like
さ
for
れるの
one
は
time
人
where
だけ
they
じゃない。
actually took like a theme
ククリュウ
and
の方だっ
actually
て機種の
executed
ミ
it.
スで危険な目に遭う可能性がある。だから
Like
たと
Sumeru
え
is
出
the
力
land
者
of
の心
knowledge,
を
and
傷
so
つける
you've
と
got
分か
the
って
god
い
of
ても
knowledge, and
拒
you know,
絶
he
すべき
destroy
時は
quests
拒
and
絶
stuff
する
and。deal with that idea
それが
a
私た
bunch,
ちと
and
クク
her
リュウの
character
共
as
通
well,
認
so
識なんだ。
deals with that a lot. Obviously, look to the Hida event and her birthday and all that. Also, there's other characters which relate to that kind of theme, like Kare and Hatham and stuff. Obviously, they're not super narratively important, but they're still lovely. There's also Nilu, who ties into that theme by contradicting it. And you know, the entire theme of Sumeru's story is taking over a dictatorship. Fontaine, I think, is a little bit foggier.
Juna, また推しかなたを見てるのか?
ジャスカ、どうしたの?
Obviously, there's themes of justice, and you can look at what Frina did and what Focalor did, and the judgment of the Fontanian people as sinners, and all that. Whereas, like, if you look at what Natlan's done, Natlan, fuck me. His story has been so fucking bad in Natlan. Natlan just said the theme of no, what was it? No one dies alone or something? Or no one fights alone? It's like, well, that's cute, but it's not true. You've executed it poorly, and I don't care about any of your characters, they're all poorly voice acted if they are voice acted. They have no fucking personalities, there's no culture. This is a fucking African nation with fucking cowboys. And no black people. I personally don't care much for a black people issue. That's probably just because I'm not a black person myself, so I just don't find myself being very emotionally tangled up with it. People complaining about it, go ahead. I have no quarrel with it. It makes sense. I mean, Natlan, I think there's supposed to be like the theme of community and the tribes and all that, but they've done fucking nothing with it. Can you not? Okay, Lila, no, that's my wire. No. Lila, you need to let go of that. Lila, no. You need to let go. That's my PlayStation wire. No, let go of it. Lila, thank you.
こんな風に人を励ますこともできるんだな。
あの二人は幼い頃からの親友だからな。
The Saurians, which I suppose is cool, but then why the fuck do you make us fight them?
お前に助けられたコリ
So
ユ
that
ー
kind
ル
of
が
completely
今や
ruins
他の人を
that
励まして
Pluto
いる。
narrative dissonance in a bad way.
衝突や対立は一つ一つ連鎖
Pluto
してい
narrative
くという
dissonance can
が
of course be used in a good
反
way,
対のこともあるんだな。
in a good game. But here it's used poorly. Because they're supposed to be family members, but we spend most of our time with them slaughtering them.
これで出力者のみんなに伝えられたな。
Most of the time in that line, you're slaughtering families of four.
飛行試練場だ。ここからそう遠くない。
It's hard to care when you're told of a family. But something I was thinking about earlier was the fact that there's no reason for Genshin Impact to be a game. Like, Genshin Impact's actual story, like, would it be better as a TV show? Maybe. Would it be good? No, it still wouldn't be, like, good. Other than good parts, Fontaine and Sumeru,
族親はまだ他の用事があ
and
るら
some
しい。
aspects of Inazuma
こっちの
and
状況はどう
Liyue.
だ?
調査結果によると、アビスの侵入が何回かあったでしょ。あれのせいで地脈が乱れて試練会場にいろんな障害物が現れちゃったの。理論上障害物さえ排除すれば機体年素が再び充満するはずよ。でも実際にやってみるといろいろ問題が出
Point
てき
is,
ちゃっ
this
て、
region's a fucking
具
wet
体的
fart.
な状況は下に行けばわかるわ。
This Natlan's just been so disappointing after Fontaine. Sumeru was genuinely just pretty damn good. And then Fontaine wasn't as good as Sumeru, but that's alright. Like, you did one good thing. You don't always need to be at your best game. Oh, yeah.
今だ撃てロックオン
Oh, yeah. So they've given us a signature at Refinement 3 and C3 and Maxed Talents. Fucking hell. They really want you to think she's really strong. I've heard with at like C0 she's nowhere near as strong as Neuvillette, but at like C2 Chaska is equal to C2 Neuvillette. That's just like how the scaling goes apparently. I didn't listen to anything you said.
ただ奇妙な
今だ
That feels so fucking good.
ここの噴出口はもう大丈夫だ。
Motherfucker, can you please? What? Oh my god. And we're gonna run out of juice.
おかしい。
地脈の乱れ。
そしたら子供の子からテペトルリ。
Well, the thing is, if every region in the game was as good as Fontaine and Sparrow, I wouldn't have a problem with just recommending Genshin to people. I'd be totally fine with recommending it to people. I'd say, oh, you want, like, if someone asked me what game should I play, I would say, oh, Genshin Impact. I recommend it. As is right now, I can't. Because, I'm worried that the rest of the game will go the same way as Natlan, and that Fontaine and Sumeru were flukes.
あれですか？誰が飛ばしたのかは知りませんけど、あんなに高く飛ばせるなんて、あそこに飛んでいってどんな技術を使っているのか確かめたい。でも今は会場の整備の方が大事です。では向こうに行って準備してくるので、準備ができたら声をかけてください。
I didn't listen to anyone.
はい、スタンバイ完了。はい、スタンバイ完了。はい、スタンバイ完了。
What am I supposed to do? Right, so maybe I should pay attention. Trust me, it's so funny again. They got so close to nailing her thing. They gave her a bow. They gave her a bow. They just decided, nah, let's just make her ability use a gun instead. Oh, okay. They were right there. Wait, that was a funky puzzle. Oh.
飛ぶか。今だ。機体燃素が回復してる。噴出口の問題は全て片付いたみたいだな。ひとまず高台に戻ろう。しっかり立ってな。行け。
I just realized on this team, Kuki Shinobu will be outmatching Pikachu. Like, unironically, I'm pretty sure if you actually pay attention, you'll find that Kuki is dealing more than Pikachu, yes.
こんな短時間で片付けるなんて、さすがあんたたちね。あとは機体燃素が充満するのを待つだけよ。そうすれば飛行試練も開催できるわ。
そのインカナック、見落としがないか飛んで確かめておきたいんだが、手配してくれないか。
え？でも会場はやっと片付いたばかりなのよ。万が一まだ見つかってない危険があったら。
だからこそ私が試しておくべきなんじゃないか。
確かに。あんたの飛行スキルなら何か見落としがあったとしても命取りにはならなそうね。
この一帯はまだ不安定な環境だ。実際に飛んでみないとどこに問題があるかわからない。
じゃあすぐ手配するわ。準備ができたらいつでも声をかけて。準備 OK？ うんうん。
進め。
やけどしないようにね。
羽ばたけ。
風が立つぞ。
Why did she get off it? Oh, catching's dead.
すごかったな。おいら、まばたきするのももったいない。
うん。特に大きなもん。
助けてくれ。
I know the intermission. Oh, it's fun.
君たち、火力の集いの人だよな。
I know the intermission quest involves Capitano somehow.
落ち着いて。どうしたんだ？
It's so fucking cool for Malrika is going to be a pyro DPS, even though we just got Arlecchino. And after that, we're going to get another pyro DPS and Capitano again. I think Capitano absolutely should be a DPS. It makes sense for his character, I think. Not to mention, all Fatui Harbingers are big DPSs. For the love of God, just don't make him a pyro DPS, please. Anything but pyro, literally any element other than pyro. Probably also not hydro either. I don't think he's really shown any elemental alignment yet. I struggle to remember. I think he showed maybe cryo? Thing is, when he like disappeared, teleported away from Malrika, that was Aurora did that. Not himself. I think he might have shown some cryo powers during that fight, I don't remember. I wouldn't mind if he's cryo, granted I would mean we want to use Zhang.
ではククリュウが人間を襲った目的は商人が輸送する食べ物だったのか
I want dual DPSs. That's the next move for Genshin to make. It's like right now we're just getting increasingly just more and more stylized DPSs, which is fine. But they're not fundamentally different. It's just different ways of having an on-field or EV on-field.
万が一のことがあったらどうすればいいかと思った。
Arlecchino
君たちがこの前ワルミーが言ってた商人の方々かしら。私たちと提携の相談がしたいという。
Things that you absorbed when you charge that. Hotel just spams normal charge attacks.
そうよ。長旅でお疲れの中、こんな目にあってびっくりしたんじゃないかしら。一緒に火力の集いに戻ってゆっくり休みましょう。ご用事についてはまた後でゆっくり。アルパさん、ククリュウの襲撃の件は。この人たちは大怪我をしたわけではないし、荷物にも問題はなかった。たまたま何かのショックを受けてククリュウが暴れただけかもしれないわ。この辺りはククリュウだらけなんだから。アクシデントの1回や2回。
But here's an idea. Give us a character who is kind of like Tartaglia, in a way of like a really long skill cooldown or something. But during that skill, they get giga buffed. Like they make Novelet seem like a fucking person. Like they just casually drop 100,000 damage per hit, and they hit like 5 times a second. They're just mega powerful Novelets, but they have a super long rotation, which means you can only use them as like a dual DPS situation. So when you're not using them, you're using a second DPS. Like that's something I would absolutely go for. So already characters in game which kind of already would work well to support that, like Raiden is a really good example. Raiden would love running a dual DPS team. How would Novelet handle a dual DPS team? He has pretty flexible rotations. Obviously Tartaglia himself is good for it. Let me think about who could... What characters can run dual DPSs? Not Chaska. Anyone with like a short cooldown is not capable of running dual DPS. Arlecchino maybe, because of how her skill works. She has a base 30-second cooldown. But it reduces through hitting enemies. Thing is, like, for dual DPS to work, you need to have a long enough skill cooldown that it's not just a matter of switching to your other setup characters. For example, Raiden. Raiden has a motherfucking 18-second cooldown. And so despite her being one of the only characters I would consider being like currently capable of being like a dual DPS, you still typically just run her with Chevreuse, Fischl, or Yai, and then Zhangling. And then by the time you switch back to her, she's ready to go again. Yeah, dual DPS worthy characters, Raiden. You could even say Navia. If you just, like, mashed her skill rather than using her normal tact. Eula, I would say Eula's probably a dual DPS. Not a good one, but I think she would be. In fact, I think Eula is currently the only DPS in the game which actually does have like a dual DPS team listed as like one of their actual teams. I'm pretty sure people do recommend running Eula and Raiden as a dual DPS team. Obviously because Raiden's skill helps Eula quite a bit. I mean, like right now we're just getting cooler DPSs, which is cool, it's fine. But it could be even better. I think which makes Star Rail worse is that typically, like, are there any 4-star super great characters in Star Rail? I don't think so. Like you get the new 5-star on banner, or you don't get to engage with the new meta. That's it, you're just screwed. Fucking hate Star Rail. Even with what I said before about Genshin, I would still sometimes recommend Genshin to people. I would never recommend Star Rail to me, Star Rail is really great. There was the update live stream today. I didn't watch it. I already basically know everything that's in it anyway. Thanks to leaks.
あの日私たちが会った商人は年祖の翼という商品を持ってきてくれたんだ。手に持った制御ボールで機体年祖の流れを調整すれば背中の装置で飛べるというものだ。ああ、もし年祖の翼を火翼の集い、ナタで大規模に使えれば機動性も反応速度も大きく変わってくる。そうすれば多くの悲劇が避けられるはずだ。
If she can power creep herself,
私、夢を見てるわけじゃないのよね。
able to slot herself in instead of Himiko.
ククリュウも呼ばずに。夢じゃないよ。ジュナンは飛行試練にクリアしたんだよ。そうだよね、アルパさん。アルパさん。
Ooh, something which would be really cool actually in Star Rail would be like a character that can trigger follow-up attacks, even if the condition for them hasn't been activated. It's like, for example, Jade needs to get Depth Collector stacks to launch her follow-up, or what if there was a character that their ultimate just made it so instantly all party members which have a follow-up attack in their kit just instantly cast it, regardless of whatever condition is required.
ジャスカ、
I think that'd be a cool
旅人
idea.
君たちは年祖の翼についてどう思う？ほら、旅人さんもこう言ってるんだよ。
そうだな。私もその戦略的価値は認める。だが現行の試練の基準を採用するなら年祖の翼を試験に使っていいとするのは適切ではないと思う。
どうして？せっかくジュナンが立ち直ってきたのに。
Saw some people also saying that like
年祖の
Shilonen
翼は
has a character,
まだ
and
実
that's
戦で
just
使
like
ったこともないだろう。
no.
部族の既存の陣形とどう組み合わせればいいのかもわからない。長い
People
目で見
saying
るなら
next
まずは
patch
その特徴を把握し、
is
そ
gonna
れ
be
から年祖の翼のための試練
Marika,
と審査基準を制定するのがいいと思う。
ええ、
どの意見にも一理あ
Someone
る。
else and Janyan.
ジャスカ、君の言う方法も悪くないけど、それを実現するには何年も
I'm
かか
not
りそう
sure if I
ね。
want Janyan or
こ
not.
の間、火
She's
力の
good
集
with
いが受
food
けた
now.
損害はあまりにも大きい。
But
今、
Valdor's of
年祖の
enemy
翼を導入
ditching
すれば、
Bennett.
戦力を大幅に補
I
填で
don't
き
know
る
if
わ。
that's a good idea.
多くの人々の士気も高まるはずよ。実戦経験については、実戦に参加すればいいんじゃないか
Like,
しら。
sure, we would generate food
Juna,
tower stacks
君には
faster.
期待してるわ。
Sorry, Farina stacks faster. Thanks to her AoE heal. And we get her plunge attack damage, but we then lose Bennett's 15% pyro damage bonus. We also lose his the fact that he gives a pyro infusion, potentially extending our rotation,
忘れないで。
even though we have
君は
less
自
damage
分の
through
力
his
で
infusion.
翼を再び手に入れたの。
And we're missing out on this 1,000 fucking attack that he gives.
また？君たちはしばらくここに。
Which makes me think that Jianyan would be an upgrade to Bennett, but like not a huge one. Not to mention also you lose the elemental resonance. And what is it, 25% attack? That's, people say don't get attack in Newtown. 25% attack is still really good. My friend called me a normie today for only playing Final Fantasy VII. It's like, no, I'm not going to play every Final Fantasy game. I have other shit to do. But part of the reason why I don't want to play every Final Fantasy is because they're all fucking JRPGs. They all are going to deploy similar tropes. Tropes which almost fucking broke me at points in Final Fantasy VII, which I largely only accepted because Final Fantasy VII has some of the strongest characters I've ever seen in fiction. Otherwise, like if you took Cloud, Aerith, and Sephiroth out of Final Fantasy VII, it would be dog shit, which kind of makes sense because you'd be removing the three main characters of the story, but hypothetically just like rework the story in accordance. If Final Fantasy VII was like a story led by Tifa instead or something, and you had a different villain, I guess, it would be a crap fucking... What? That'd be crap. See what I mean? About what I was saying earlier about how Genshin doesn't need to be a game. Genshin tells its story entirely through cutscenes. It very, very rarely does any actual gameplay storytelling. It's like none of this needs to be a game.
追いかけたって追いつかない。子供の頃からかくれんぼで勝ったことは一度もない。ああ、知っての通り、私はククリュウに育てられた。あの頃竜の巣で一緒に育ったのが姉の小屋だったんだ。一緒に木や山の上で遊んだり、追いかけっこをしたり。あの頃はそんな日々が永遠に続くと思っていた。
Not because fantasy or some cost strength, but simply because I like having a live service that I log on to every day to play. There's a kind of consistency of it, and I don't want to go back to Warframe simply because I don't have much to do with Warframe anymore. I've got 7,000 fucking hours in the game. What more can I do on Warframe? I can't. I do my weekly Nightwave challenges on Warframe, and that's it. I don't do sorties. I definitely don't do fucking Archon hunts.
それでもあの頃の私たちはまだ一番仲のいい親友だった。
And that, but I don't play Warframe anymore than that anymore, just because I don't have anything to do. Done everything. Warframe just isn't really fun anymore. That's fine. So I got 7,000 hours out again. Yeah, but I just like that kind of consistency. What I also like, of course, actively seeking out new things. I like this was stability.
私は人間の行動に興味が出てきて理解しようとするようになった。人間と一緒に過ごす時間が長くなるにつれ、姉さんに会いに行く時間は
The thing is, like, when I play Buddy Simulator or Not for Broadcast, they're great experiences, but they only last a day or two.
彼女はわざわざ火力の集いを
And I
離
end
れ
up
て
finishing the game within 24 hours and not going back to it because I've completed it. Whereas with these games, they will never fucking end. Anytime soon, anyway.
もしそれに応じていたら、お前たちはここで私に会うこともなく、私も迷った。あの時、私はすでに火力の集いという新たな家族の中に溶け込み、人間としての自分を受け入れると決めていたんだ。でも姉さんが人間を嫌ってることは知ってたから、がっかりさせたくないという思いもあった。でもそうやって迷う私を見て、私に裏切られたと感じたのか、大暴れして遠くへ去っていったよ。それ以来一度も会ってなかったんだ。ついさっきまで。小屋はどこに新しい巣を作ったのかと母に聞いたこともある。弁明をしたかったんだ。でも姉さんは私に居場所を教えないよう母さんに念押ししてた。二人の娘の間に挟まれてきっと母も辛かったと思う。
I'm again just impatient waiting for Nola and Farina to come back.
調べたりはしてない。あ、これ以上事態が悪化するなら誰よりも早く小屋を見つけ
The thing is, Nola, I really want to get him to a power level which everyone else
私に会い
acts
たく
like
ない
he's
と
at.
してる。
Which
今は
of
ま
course
ず
he isn't
負傷
really
者を
at.
部族に連れ戻して族長と族親の
He
計
is,
画
but
を
it's
聞くと
not
しよう。
because of his damage. The thing which is crazy about Nola isn't the fact that he deals absurdly high damage, because he doesn't. There's quite a few characters which outdamage him. Several of which, I think... Yeah, several of which were out before him as well. Hu Tao now Hofen, that being. The thing which makes Nola impressive is not his damage output. The fact he does it in an AoE so comfortably, whilst having healing, you know. Whilst also combining extremely well with Farina. I don't know what it is, but something about this tribe location feels really uninspired.
ほれ見ろ。これだから野生の奴らは信用できねえんだよ。ちょっと、そういう態度は慎んでください。
The tribe locations should feel...
火力の集いの仲間ですよ。
They should feel like they were necessary
お前らの
somehow.
飛行隊の仲間だろ。
They shouldn't feel like they were made this way because they wanted a cool location in a video game. They should feel this way because there's a reason why their tribe developed this way. From what I can tell, they've just built their houses onto a side of a mountain just to look cool. The children of Rieko is way better in that regard, because at least they built their homes in a ravine because they're miners. The people of the springs are in the fucking springs. Kenichi's people are where they really start to falter. So I guess they're just climbing. People sort of climbs, they're on the side of a cliff.
今回の一件を解決しただけでは焼け石に水だろう。それに一番の問題はやはり年祖の翼と小屋のことだと思う。
野生のククリュウによる襲撃は普段はさほ
Even
ど
though,
深刻ではない。
like, obviously that, like, when the time came from that land war, they got fucked.
人と人の衝突頻度と大差ないから。
Mind you, again, we went past that. There's that one moment in that land war where we went past the Kenichi's home and literally everyone was dead. Literally everyone was dead. Like, there was a point in that land where I thought they literally just genocided the entire region. I thought, of course they didn't. In fact, it was entirely inconsequential. It's already been forgotten. I didn't even realize it's already been forgotten where it even happened. It's been mentioned twice so far. It was mentioned in passing by Chaska at the start of this quest, and it was at the start of the intermission, which we haven't done any more of yet, so maybe the intermission will be about it more. But there's been fucking nothing about it here so far. Yeah, like that quest, part of why it was so bad is because it made it out like the entire country was about to die. They made it out like it was literally going to be fucking genocide. Like, they fairly strongly implied that Mualani's tribe and Kenichi's tribe were literally just wiped off the map. And there's also a moment where you met off with Shilonen, and then she does her really bad voice acting. And it seems like, wasn't that like all that was left of Children of Echoes as well? It's like at that point it seemed like there was like maybe less than 50 people left in the whole fucking country. But no, it's fine. Everything is fine. Which makes me feel more right in saying that that was the death of Genshin Impact's world building for that quest. Some people tried to argue back against me on that. They said, oh, how could can't expect Nervlet to send over Gardamex when they had no warning. Like, the abyss just attacked suddenly. And I'm like, well, good point. They obviously blatantly flawed, but they did have warning. They've had a couple hundred years of warning. Because the War of the Abyss has been going on for hundreds of years. So yes, in fact, they have had very, very, very adequate warning that it was happening. And so yes, they should have sent Gardamex. Especially since things were ramping up recently. And especially because Fontaine themselves has no use for them, because Fontaine's not going under any crisis right now. So if Fontaine has no use for Gardamex, why don't we send them over here? To the country that they know is at war with the fucking Abyss. There's no reason not to. There's literally no reason not to, and there is every reason to do it. So yeah, that defense does not work. It's slightly more excusable for the other nations because they aren't bordering that land. But both Sumeru and Fontaine, or, yeah, more so Sumeru, are bordering that land. So That's a really cool thing. You could have developed your own arc about that. You could maybe have Fontaine having some kind of political issue somehow after Farina drops out. And then have it sort of there having to debate whether they should send forces to Nana or keep them for themselves. Which is also why I think Arlecchino shouldn't have been a fucking sympathetic villain. She should have been all the way fucking evil. But they decided not to do that. They also decided to just not include her in the story anyway. So don't get what point it was. That was the worst thing about Fontaine. It's just how disappointing Arlecchino was. Which also perplexes me further as to why she's so popular. Because to me, she feels like utter shit to play. She's not even outright better than Hoot Howl. And character-wise, she's not great. I still see people saying, oh, here's people, they say, oh, with Arlecchino, I don't need to worry about swapping out. And that just depresses me every time I hear it, because it shows they don't know anything about how Genshin's actual rotation system works. I bet people will complain about how Hoot Howl loses her infusion after she switches to a different character. I bet they're trying to run fucking triple DPSs. Which, I mean, you can do, but don't complain about a game where you're playing it in, you're going out of your way to play it in the most fucking asinine way possible. There was a time when I was worried about that infusion mechanic. That was before I actually got Hoot Howl. That's simply just because I wasn't sure if I had the characters to back her up, but I did. So it was fine.
言いたいことは大体わかる。正確さは8、9割といったところだ。母が私の返事を理解してくれているのかどうかわからない時もあるけど、それでも私たちはコミュニケーションが取れる。きっと心が通じ合ってるんだと思う。安心してくれ。元気だから。ただ。姉さんの方はちょっと状況が良くないかも。
Are there any other teams in the game which like the
姉さんは人間を嫌っているが、
like
自ら人を襲ったことは一度もなかったんだ。どうして急に変わってしまったんだろう。
Actually, we could have catching herself right.
母さんもあまりわからないみたいだ。姉さんはもう長い間会いに来ていないらしい。それなら姉さんの今住んでいる場所を教えてくれないか。姉さんと話し合わないと。もしこのまま姉さんと家族の集いが憎しみ合うなら、次に何かあった時、私が間に合うかわからない。一緒に行ってくれるそうだ。ありがとう。
I don't think anything like that would be worthwhile for Outhaven. What the fuck? Okay. Guess this is why you pull for free. Remember how I was like really conflicted about pulling Farina? I'm not conflicted anymore. I'm really glad I did pull her. So I almost didn't. I really almost didn't. So I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, originally I called her for her strength more than anything else. I don't think I disliked her, I think it was more just that I had bigger priorities, I think. But then I was just convinced. And then I got her, and I do not regret it. Okay, thanks game. I knew that already. No war. Oh.
こんな偏僻な場所に住むなんて人間を避けるためなのか？
I was wondering in my head now if it's possible to make a DPS for Irina without her C6. There's a couple ways you could go about doing that. There's Candace C6 you can get for her.
母さんが先に姉さんと話をするから。姉さんは今、
Bennett's C6 will give Irina a pyro infusion. And then you could potentially use that to make her skill vaporize. That could be good.
なんて言ったんだ？
思ってた以上に複雑だな。この付近に残された痕跡を見る限り、姉さん。
襲撃？
なんだって？チメ。姉さんの子供も奴らは海の方からやってきて。
一体？
昼も夜も探し回る。そして。
テパルのくれたやつなかなか使えますね。一気にやっつけちまいましたよ。
そばにもう一匹。まさか前回。そんなことより全部捕まえろ。テパルは金払いがいいからな。ジョスカ、どうしてここに。早くあいつを止めろ。こっちに来るな。ネイソの翼、早く俺を連れて行け。
ネイソの翼が暴走し。
まずい。母さんたちは怪我をしてるのに。
元素力だ。元素力で暴走を抑えられる。誰か
どけ。
Genshin Impact, what are you doing? Why? Why are you coming quick now? What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is a cohesive art style?
私たちの質問に正直に答えろ。この前姉さんを襲った
Why
のも
isn't Honkai Impact third on consoles? I'm really curious. So I want to try it. Because it was the original one. Honkai Impact third was their first game, I think. I don't know if it was Hoyo versus first game, I mean, it was the first of this gacha game series they made.
テパルだ。あいつが野生のククリュウを捕まえろって言ったんだ。それにここのククリュウはもはや脅威でしかないから早く片付けてくれと。
テパル？どこかで聞いたことのあるような。
父はいつも手紙。テパルは俺たちとほとんど直接連絡を取らないし、ククリュウや年祖の翼の受け渡しも。
年祖の翼って？
俺たちはただ物を運んで。
年祖の翼の本当の出ど。知らない？
勘弁
弁してくれ。は詳細は教えてもらえなかったが、あくまで推測だが。なんだ
って。姉さんは落ち着いて。まだ傷が残ってるから。
君たちもさっき見ただろう。機体年素の翼にエネルギー供給できるくらい精錬する必要がある。油断すれば暴走してしまう。だがククリュウは生まれつき機体年素をうまく操れる。だからククリュウを媒体にして。
もういい。お前たちにさらわれたククリュウたちは
多分まだテパルのところにいるはずだ。だがあいつの拠点に行ったことがあるのはテパルとその手下だけだ。俺たちもこっそり探してはみたんだ。後をつけたこともある。だがどうしても見つからなかった。
空の上に隠れてるとかじゃないよな。
テパル。この名前。
ジャスカ、旅人。
That voice line was not correct, really, was it?
賊を山で来たのか。
ええ、さっき辺りをパトロールしていたら突然爆発音が聞こえて、一体何が起きたの？そうだったのね。
アルパさん、テパルという名前に聞き覚えはないか？なんとなく印象があるような。確か。
お前たちの部族のやつなのか？
いや、火翼の集いのものなら。
言われてみれば確かに火翼の集いの飛行試練に参加しに来たよそ者がいたわね。チャスカはあの頃ちょうど任務中だったから印象が薄いんでしょう。その人は小玉の子から来た職人だったけど、ずっと空に憧れていたみたいだった。それで私たちの飛行隊に入りたいと言ってきたの。
小玉の子？それは珍しいな。
でも残念ながらいくら頑張っても試練の合格ラインには届かなかった。それどころかククリュウに認められることもなかったわ。結局出翼者になって悲しげな面持ちでここを去って小玉の子に帰っていったわ。
出翼者。年素の翼を作ったのはまさかククリュウに仕返しをするためか？
それかもしかしたら空を飛べなくなった悲しみを埋めるためかも。
どんな動機があるにせよ、ククリュウの命を踏みにじっていい理由にはならない。まずはこの者たちを連れ戻し。
待ってチャスカ。前に言ったことを彼らのリーダーはこの人たちをみんなの前に立たせ、この前の出来事のせい。
まさか。
それは俺も。
でもホヤが人間を襲った。
感情にとらわれた人はさすが理解が早いわね。その火翼の集いで活動して。
分かった。今は急いでこの状況を何とかしないと。母さん、それから姉さん、まずはここ。
I still think Rulani's was easily the best out of all these story quests. Still not trying to say Rulani's story quest was good. Oh god, this was... I honestly, I don't know if I can continue. I'm really bored. I'm really bored. I'm really bored. vulnerable to Dendro Hydro Res. Considering going back onto my backlogged and lowering the grade I gave to Genshin Impact. So I think I gave it 4 stars. Which out of time I thought, should I be giving Genshin Impact 4 stars? But now, those feelings have been exploded. I just had to format this team. What if I replace Kokomi with Freena? I can make this team interesting. The thing is, I can now use Kuki on this team thanks to having a C4. I mean, that's triggering Hyper Booms every 4 seconds, right? 5. Yeah, so that's not the best Hyper Boom trigger, but could be worse. I really don't get why, as part of Reaction Buster, we didn't make it so Superconduct also reduces Cryo Res. That just seems kind of obvious to me to do it. Let's do it. Thing is, I'm pretty sure running Ganyu like this is definitely better than catching, at least. Oh, I hate this one. Geo Pyro Res. Hu-Tao versus this boss is actually quite risky. I like risky though. Freak out. I don't know if the speed at which you output elements actually matters for these, but I think the best team for them is actually Nilu teams. So I've gotten into rhythm of using Nilu for this. Dude, that filled up really fast. Yes, I'm one of those nerds who actually does that every week. There is an exploration one, isn't there? An exploration bonus? Yes. Honestly, I don't think I can bother with the rest of the story quest today. We've already done most of it. And maybe most of the quest is enough. God fucking damn, dude. I will never forgive them for not making Genshin a dedicated Garnier for support, man. That fucking sucks. It's so bad. It's such a huge missed opportunity. The thing is, not only would that make Genshin better, but it'd also make Garnier better. And since everyone's saying Sitlali is going to be a superconductor support, it would make Sitlali also make Garnier better later as a future buff. So if Genshin was a Garnier support, then somehow it should be related to Superconduct, obviously. So then with Sitlani releasing it being released related to Superconduct, that would mean it would be a second Garnier buff. So if Genshin was a dedicated Garnier support, that would mean that when Sitlali releases, Garnier might actually become relevant again. And if Xian Yun was also a dedicated Garnier support, then maybe Garnier would be fucking meta right now. It's crazy. Garnier was snubbed twice of having a dedicated support. And then she got fucking Shenhe. And then Shenhe got fucking stolen by Ayako anyway. Like, it wouldn't even be that hard. All you have to do is, like, make it so that enemies near this get, like, cryo-res reduction or something to buff Garnier. It's so easy. The other thing, obviously, is to make it so Ketching's burst actually becomes a sub-DPS power. And it continues going after you switch off field, and make that work with Garnier. It is so just not hard for them to fix it, but they can't. Which is also why I'm all for the alternate, having a 4-star version of 5 stars and a 5-star version of 4 stars. So that way, we could get a 4-star catching, which is a Ganyu support. We're never going to do that, so this is the best we can do. Now we can run Ganyu as a support for catching, but that's not very smart. Yeah, I don't think that team would output much damage. I'm trying to run through my head right now, right? So what does that team actually look like? I think it'd be the same thing with just replacing Ida with Garnier. This would be a superconduct catching DPS team. Thing is, running Garnier as a sub DPS feels so wrong to me. Give me back my sec, thank you. What does I make diligence books for? We was Zhangning, yeah. Would have been for Yao Yao. The thing which irks me about Yao Yao is her talent levels hardly matter because most of her healing comes from this. I'm not going to take catching his talents any further, it would be a waste. I might take her to level 90. She's at 2010. Freena doesn't even close. Never noticed her. No, you don't. Soon you will have a new build. I'll finally be able to use your burst consistently. Let's get him there. Got this chunky feather. Slight crit damage, but more crit rate. We lose HP, but we gain attack. So overall, I think this feather is an improvement. Is a small improvement, but an improvement nonetheless. We do need crit rate more than we need crit damage. So that's at least one artifact, which is an upgrade. And that's it so far. It's going to be a pretty hard one to beat. It is one of the best artifacts on my account.